I was like, whoa, when I first saw him. He just didn't look like a normal puppy. I didn't know if it was a bear cub. I didn't know if it was a coyote mixed with puppy. I didn't know what was going on. He looked different than anything I'd ever seen.
What? Right, buddy? You're pretty unique.
I got into rescuing back in the early 2010s, and that's how I met Chupey. This couple out there had had a puppy. When they told me the dog looked different, I was expecting some sort of mild deformity, nothing crazy. He was born outside under a shed, so animals like raccoons and coyotes could get in and get to him. But when I first saw him, I was shocked. His ears folded back. His eyes were all squinty. His teeth were exposed like a smile. He wasn't the puppy I expected to meet. And I didn't know if I could help him, but I knew I had to try.
What are you doing?
I took him to my vet, plopped him down, and the vet goes, "What did you bring me?" Because he had never seen anything like it either. We spent a lot of time going back and forth to the vet in those first few weeks, doing every test. And he said, he's really weird looking, but he's mostly normal on the inside, from what I can tell. He was just tired and just happy to be in somebody's arms when I first got him. And he spent days wrapped up in blankets and just being carried around like a baby. He never acted scared, but he did stay quiet. He was content to just be in your lap and be held. So he slept and slept those first few days a lot. I fed him a lot of small meals throughout the day to kind of just get him more nutrition, to help his skin, help his hair, help his body. Whatever his condition is, it makes their skin thin. And so from day one, he was wearing clothes. And we were waiting to get him neutered. And then he was going to go on to a new home after that. But my husband was like, he would see me cuddling Chupey, and he's like, "You're going to keep that dog." And I was like, no, I'm not. My other 3 dogs that I had at the time were extremely used to fosters, so it didn't mean anything to them. Dogs don't notice the difference with Chupey because they go more by scent. So he spent a lot of time cuddling with my English bulldog, Bailey. He was really into Bailey because she was big and warm. And I think she realized how good it felt. So it was kind of like, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. I wasn't surprised when they bonded. I thought that he really loved having someone big to follow around. But then he suddenly started getting more vocal. You would ask him, "What are you doing, Chupey?" And he'd stare right at you and go, "Rah."
Do you need something? What is it?
The way he said it, I could just tell he had attitude. He started acting like a wild animal, just running and playing.
Ready? Wait. 1, 2, 3.
We have toys all over the house, and all I have to ask him is, "Where's your toy?" And he runs and gets a toy, and we play.
Where did you put it? Where's your toy?
I've spent a lot of time just talking back to him because I liked listening to him talk back. It was cute.
No. Chupey, can I get it? Ow, ow. Can I get it? Ow, ow.
That's partly where I fell in love with him. I think it was just the amount of time he spent with us and seeing his personality blossom and seeing how he was just coming into his own. I was like, I can't let him go. I love this little guy too much.
I just made that bed.
I think it was around Christmas time that I knew that he was going to stay. He has a condition that we don't know the name of yet, but we're trying to find out. We hope to find out one day, and maybe the condition will be named after Chupey, because he's the oldest one known with this condition.
Sit. Good boy.
Some people see them and go like, what are they? Why do they look the way they do? Other people see them and they kind of make a funny face and cross the street. I think they are the cutest dogs on earth. They are so weird looking in their own special way. 2 years ago, I found Chupa. She was posted on a local rescue as a Mexican hairless dog. I noticed some different things about her that didn't quite track as being Mexican hairless. She has very big teeth that are too big for her mouth and small beady eyes, and her skin is like tissue paper thin. Then I found out about Lolli. So my friend sent me pictures of Lolli and said, hey, this weird little hairless puppy is at the pound, and she kind of reminds me of your other weird hairless dog. Do you know anything about this? So, of course, I got more information and reached out, and they were really struggling with her. They didn't know what she was. They didn't know if she was sick. So I basically went to go meet her to see if I could help figure out what was going on with her. And they said, hey, if you're familiar with this, maybe you could foster her. And I said, no, I have a full house. But I just couldn't let her go. She just started wiggling and my heart melted. So I said, okay, I'll foster her.
Oh, you're so cute.
So when I brought Lolli home, I had an elderly English bulldog named Russell. I think he was like, how did you find another one of these? Everybody around me seemed to know immediately that that was a foster fail. It took me maybe a few weeks to accept that myself, but she just fit in perfectly. When Chupa and Lolli first met, it was like they were made to be together. Chupa absolutely loved her from the get-go. She was so gentle with her.
Good girl, Chupa. Good girl.
She's a very high energy, playful dog, and she would just let Lolli chew on her ears and jump all over her. I think the most challenging thing for Lolli at the beginning was keeping up with her sister, Chupa. She wanted to do everything that Chupa was doing right from the beginning, and her little legs couldn't quite keep up. So Lolli showed me she was the boss. And she was not easily intimidated. She would explore any new environment without a problem. But there were a lot of moments when I thought it might not work. Sometimes they are a little bit much to handle. So we do a lot of activities. Lolli's favorite things to do are, first of all, playing with her sister, of course, but also napping. She is a play hard, sleep hard kind of girl. She also is obsessed with squirrel patrol in my yard. That is a very serious job for her. And she's never caught one, but she has sure tried. I had never had any intention of having 3 dogs. That was not part of my plan at all. I think the biggest thing that made me change my mind and adopt Lolli was seeing her interact with Chupa, and I just felt like I could not separate those two. Seeing how happy Chupa was and how much of a big sister she was to Lolli. And I started noticing that they have more similarities than differences. They play in all the same ways. They have the same mannerisms. They love to roughhouse together. They're just like mirror images of each other. It made me want to explore their DNA further. When the test results came in, I could not believe my eyes. They are full siblings from 2 different counties, 2 different shelters, 2 different litters, 2 different years, and somehow they found their way both to me. They both just make each other so happy, and I just love to watch them be happy together. I really do love watching them play together. It's constant entertainment in my house. We're still uncertain about what their condition is, but we are hopeful that someday we will know a little bit more about what is actually the cause. And I have now these 2 silly chupacabra dogs, and they just bring me a lot of joy.